Okay, hello to everybody out there on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook, and hello up there on TikTok. So, as y'all know, I am Arike, and I am just excited. It's some exciting times right now, and I want to share. And guess what? I even took some notes so I make sure that I'm not just all over the place today in not too long as well. So, first fun fact, do you know that for the first part of my life, today was my birthday? For the first 16 years of my life, March the 6th was my Earth Strong. And then I went, I believe, to get a copy of my birth certificate for my first job, and they couldn't find me on March the 6th. They couldn't find me, yeah. So they have this thing where they'll look a day before and they'll look a day after. And so they found me on March the 7th. And so I looked at my mother, and the people looked at my mother at the Commonwealth, and she just started laughing. And I'm just like, what in the world? Like, horrified. What do you mean? What do you mean? And so you don't remember. And so she was like, well, if that's what they say, then I guess your birthday's March the 7th. And I refused. I refused to change my birthday to March the 7th. And so from that day forward, I had two birthdays. March the 6th, my friends would celebrate with me. And on March the 7th, I would get another cake for my parents would celebrate my birthday. This went on all the way up until my 30s. And then I think around 35 ish, I was like, these birthdays are coming too fast, too quick. I yield to March the 7th. And it took me so many years to get people to stop saying happy birthday to me on March the 6th. And so every March the 6th, I still have, um, just warmth for this day because for the first half of my life, my Earth Strong was March the 6th. And now it seems like it's been so long that it's been just March the 7th by itself that, I finally, people don't call me. Even my kids understand this. My kids knew we celebrated two birthdays all those years. So, anyways, that's the fun fact about me. And now let's talk about y'all. The fundraiser really just got started because Facebook asked the question. Facebook was like, "Hey, who do you want to um, donate to during your birthday? What cause would you like to, people to celebrate?" And so I got together real quick and I made this little thing and said, "Okay, how can I get the community to see what we're doing, put their eyes back over here on us. And at the same token, as they do that, if they decide to give a birthday gift, then I can get up enough money that I'll go ahead and I'll gift it back to some young ladies to come into our community." So now talking about my community, this organization that I created from straight faith, from just my faith in saying that I'm not going to do it the way that the world does things. I'm not going to follow the path, and I'm going to separate myself and just get really in tune with my spiritual self and trust enough that I will be taken care of. And I took that leap of faith. And so, um, with that, in the beginning, it was very rocky, but it did get to the place where I live in freedom, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place of being able to be where I am. But it definitely came through years of, trial and error. I didn't know anything about being a nonprofit when I first started this. I had no idea. So I went out and I lost a lot of money because I was hiring people and getting things back that weren't, finding out later on that weren't, of good quality. And I ended up having to learn everything myself and going through the processes of healing at the same time. So, but here's something that I think that people don't know is I have never written a grant for my organization. Everything that I have done all these years have been out of my pocket. I have never asked for funding ever, except for October 13th of last year was the first time I ever wrote a grant asking for funding for my organization. And at that time, we over asked. We over asked. However, we just got reinvited from that organization to come back up to bat and play again right now. But a lot of people, I think that I've been out here and nobody just giving me money or whatever. No, I've never asked for any money. I've never asked for any money. And so what have I been doing? Is I've been getting myself grant worthy. Okay, so in 2012, when I had my healing home and we were getting ready to close the doors, I had a young woman on my team who was my community liaison, who was she used to be an actress, and so she knew the lady that wrote all of the nonprofits for all of the stars, Sharita Herring. And so she said, you need to get in contact with her because we were losing the transitional house at the time. Mind you, I was not a nonprofit. I've never been a nonprofit until 2018. But let me back up. And so when I had my home and all these things were running out of my pocket. Okay. So I have never asked for funding. It's not like I've been out here and I've been turned down. But from working with Sharita, I got to learn the ins and the outs of grants. I sat with her and under her and supported, and anything that she did, I can get into learning, glean from her for years. It wasn't just I went to a program. No, for years I sat and studied under her. Because of her, I was allowed, because she became a mentor, I was allowed into her circle where I met other seven-figure women and women that were doing things that sat down. And one that took interest in me was Desiree Dubois. And so I sat and learned with her, went to her beautiful estate in Beverly Hills to learn podcasting all these years ago. Broadcasting put me on platforms all these years ago, was always nominating me things for things in LA, so my name would get out there and I could meet people with other entrepreneurs. And so my cutting my teeth in nonprofit didn't come from a class that somebody went to school to learn about entrepreneurship. My cutting my teeth came from people that were like me, that went out there and built it from scratch and became millionaires without going into a school building or anything like that. So there, I know that they do teach entrepreneurship in the colleges, and I'm not taken from that. I'm just saying the people that I learned from did not get their education or how they got their first millions through going through the academic route. And so I learned from people that really grinded and built something from nothing. And so taking all of that knowledge while I'm still figuring things out for myself, and my walk and what I'm doing and how to do and how to build and all the things that I'm seeing, I'm learning, that I'm writing, is now I understand that just because I have a 501c3, which I didn't get until 2018, was the first time that I actually incorporated and we got our own 501c3 designation, was in 2018. From 2018 through 2022, I piloted everything that I had written over the years. So we piloted Passing the Baton, which was the online magazine. We piloted No More False Starts, which is the 90-day accountability journal. I did that about 4 different times, and women were able to use that, and they wrote books, made websites. I mean, you could do whatever you want to do for 90 days with inside of that group. And it's accountability and it's a journalist, the way we work together to make sure that at the end of the 90 days, everybody's project is done. It's accountability. Stepping into your personal power. We piloted that. And of course, our signature program, you know, no, sorry, our signature program, 5 S's in the C, that's me, Women's Development and Training Program. And I was able to take that from an idea and then take that from girls meeting in the transitional house to now taking that and writing it and developing it out as a full-blown curriculum and then hiring somebody to actually put it all together in so that we have an online class that is um, academic approved. Like it's not no little bitty thing thrown together. It's real, it's nice, it's beautiful. The young lady that did it is very talented. And so we did that. And so last year alone, a total of 40 women, a total of 40 women went through some form of 5S me. And out of that, majority of them were in St. Kitts. And from that, I came back with 2 letters of recommendation from the government of St. Kitts from being in the prison with the women and using my curriculum from 5 S's in the C, that's me, their domestic violence unit department, and of course the young mothers. And so we have never, again, let me say, written for money because we were getting grant worthy. And so what this has done now is we have 10 years, we have over 10 years, but we cut it down to about 10 years of evidence-based work. It's over 10 years. We actually have 20 years worth of evidence-based work. If you take it all the way back to before this even had a name, right? But basically, I to say that not only does my organization work, my program work, it doesn't just work in one place because I literally traveled. People thought I was just traveling to be traveling. No, I was traveling, engaging myself into communities around the country and seeing if the needs were the same and could what I wrote be used in all these different places, including now the Caribbean. And the answer to that is an outstanding yes. And so now that I have the statistics, now that I have the proof that what I do works, the sustainability of what I do works, the next thing was to now find an organization to partner with me that would believe in me, that would hold the financial side so that we could go and get the money that we need to actually now open centers in things all across the United States. And so this time, in 2022, we dissolved. Let me go back. In 2022, we dissolved our nonprofit. The reason why we dissolved it, after doing all of our piloting and looking at how much evidence that we had in all that we have done, all that we have produced, that our weak spot was we didn't have the portfolio, the financial portfolio to ask for what we know that we need to ask for, understanding that we're a brand new organization going up against organizations that are been here for a very long time helping our community, in different things, and have the ears of the funders. So coming in is more than just getting a 501c3. And so my quest was to make sure that we were grant worthy when we did come out. And like I said, the missing piece was trying to find that person, trying to find that organization that could cover us so that we can go for the bigger dollars. And so that took a couple of years, honestly. I was asking a few people, but who I was asking were other women who were just really starting. Their organizations were just starting to bloom, and they were just coming from under a fiscal, or they had not made the amount of money that we really needed to say, hey, we can handle this type of portfolio. So it wasn't until October of last year that we finally founded a company that is in the $1 million market range, that said not only do they believe in what we're doing, but they absolutely will give us what we need so that now we can go forth and begin to write. So I've just started writing. I'm very excited to put everything together and to start winning awards. And trust and believe, I will share when we come out, hey, we won, we won, we won, we won, we won, because that's the energy that we're doing things in. That's the energy that we're working in right now. And with that being said, I've been on here way too long because guess what? I need to write because there is so much funding out there. And the last thing I will say about the organization and about funding and about having your 501c3, I know that a lot of people believe that, oh, that's doing work with the government and this and that. I thought so too, because I listened to people. I listen to people. I'm a very spiritual person. And so I'm listening to all these brothers saying that this wicked, da, da, and I didn't do my own research. And so for years, I did this out of my pocket because I was listening to other people saying that if I got a nonprofit, a 501c3, that meant that I was getting in bed with the government and they were going to change everything and all these things that people say in our community. And when I learned and I took the time to study, and I realized that you have an option, you have options of who you're going to ask for finances, but there's also a responsibility for um, every company in our community. Thank you. Every company in our communities that are in our community that we pour into, that you're shopping and you're giving your money to, that they have to give money back to people in their community. But what I realize is if I don't have that status where they can get that money back as a tax write-off, they're not giving me anything. So that's not the government. You heard me? The places we go, we spend our, we're supposed to give money back to the community. And so for me, once I started realizing and understanding the game of this, in the strategies, in the way that we can work together, I started realizing, oh, listen, we need to develop an ecosystem. And if we all came together instead of going into competition for the same little teeny fundings, that if we actually came together and created an ecosystem, we could now go after the 100,000, the $1 million. We can go after the big, big money. And what can we do with that big money? Well, what does our community really need? Because if we're waiting on Hollywood, if we're waiting on the stars, we're waiting on these other people to do it, but we don't have to. All we have to do is come together. All we have to do is get strategic, align ourselves, and come together so that the real healing can take place. So this is what I do. It's not about just being another program or just because I wanted to. No, this was what I've been commissioned to do. And this organization focuses on healing, true healing. It's not about money first. It is not about money first. It is about healing first. Real, genuine healing. So now we can be creative. Now we can hear instructions, get creative, and build. Because unfortunately, the services that are slated for us, for those of us that have gone astray, the juvenile system, the prison system, is not reform. It's hurting our community even more because going in, somebody that went in for something that wasn't even major, but because of the way that the judicial system is set against our people, this is fact. It's not me, this, everybody knows this fact, that you could have did something that didn't warrant you to stay 2 or 3, 5, 15 years behind bars. But because you're there and there's no reform, you come out worse than you went in. With our school systems, the preschool to prison pipeline, these are all things that are still in our community that are all very real. And so healing from a ancestral lens, from a decolonized lens, is necessary. A remembering who we are is necessary. So again, I separated myself, chose a divine walk, and wrote the whole time. And now I have piepurifications.com. And I invite y'all to go look at it, see what I do, see if you have a piece of the pie, how we can come together, how we can collaborate, because the funding is out there. If you're not strong and your organization is not strong, come on, let's strengthen each other. We are very strong. I tell people we really don't need any other partnerships. We are strong. We're coming now. However, it's not about me. It's about the community. And I know that I don't have everything. I just have a piece of the pie. The blueprint was taking social media, using social media to pilot the things that I have written over the years, the ways that we can earn income. Every program that I have turns into a project that turns into profit. The only thing that we require now is community. It's built. We're ready. We're just looking for the community to come on forth. And so with that being said, while I come out and we share, we're also going to corporations and saying we have something and it's proven, and we have the proof of concept. We have the evidence that it works. And we're not asking for permission. We're coming for our community. I'm coming for my daughters, the daughters, my sisters, and ultimately our brothers, because we need healing from a decolonized lens. We need healing. So, again, I am Arike, and I'm also doing, this happy birthday Earth Strong fundraiser. If you feel blessed, to be a blessing, there are 3 ways that you can, participate. You can give in a variation of any of my birthday numbers, 1937, 1968, 58, okay? Or if you don't have the $3 or $5, you know, feel free to just go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. It's not monetized. We have like 10 people there. We're just starting. But so this will help us, go put, subscribe, watch a video for like 10, 15 minutes and leave a comment. That will help us. And that's absolutely free. If you're not watching me here on TikTok, follow me on TikTok. It's absolutely free. Subscribe to our social media. It's absolutely free. And then the last thing is, if you are really interested in taking the course and seeing all the things that we teach and all the things that you'll learn, that right now until midnight tomorrow, we have a sale for $580. All you got to pay today or tomorrow is $58 to save your seat. And then you can do the rest in a payment plan. And we'll make sure that we get you in a cohort for this discounted rate. After tomorrow, the rates go back up. And so the 5S's and C, that's me, is 1750. Our Leadership Academy is 1997, and our Advanced Academy is $2,500. Okay, all of these are come with workforce development. Some of them come with certifications, and we also do employment for you at the end. Okay, we show you how to now set up your chapter in your community so that you can get paid. Okay, so what else do we have? Grand Rising, sis. I'm trying to think of what else do we have. I think that's it. Yeah, those are the three ways. And also, if you know, like, go look at our webpage, piepurifications.com. Um, the money that we raise, the money that I raise goes to 10 women to come through the program. It's not coming in my pocket, it's going to 10 women to come through the program. Okay. I think that's it. So I'm going to get off and get ready to write for some money. There's a lot of money out there. Don't let people fool you. Do not be scared about the rollbacks and things of that nature. When you know that you're called for something, you know that you're called for something, you have to trust that when it's your time, it's your time. Right now, we're planting more seeds. We're planting financial seeds because the harvest is coming. Stay tuned. We will definitely share all of our wins with you. Thank you again for being with me. Some people check your emails. Um, Link is in the bio. Check us out. Thank you so much for just being with me and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. From my heart to yours.